What's up, YouTube? It is Wednesday, August 11th, 2021 at about 5:08 p.m. I just got off work and I'm headed home. I'm kind of making a video right now, a little unprepared, because I'm going to be working out of the Atascadero office the rest of the week, and I post my video Saturday morning, and so unless I go for a ride after work, which I could do, but chances of me doing that are slim to none, because usually when I get off work, I'm ready to have a libation and chill, not do anything, just relax, wind down from the day. But I found out I gotta go help them out in Atascadero, so I won't be riding, I'll be walking to work, because it's literally like 100 feet from where I live. And that's going to be a thing. I'm going to have to make myself get out and ride during the week after work, because starting September 1st, I'm going to be back working out of the Atascadero office. I won't be working in the Paso office anymore. Anyways, before we get going, please hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, comment, share, all that good stuff. And we'll continue with today's video right after this. Alright, so today I was going to talk about Bumblebee. I have decided with the wife and I, or the wife has kind of made me decide that I'm going to have to sell Bumblebee. It's just not a lot of room in the garage, and I may have said that I would sell him if I got another bike. I don't remember. She says I said that. But I don't really ride Bumblebee that often, and he's getting neglected, and he's just sitting, and I think he needs to go to a good home. So the last couple weekends I've been trying to detail Bumblebee and get him cleaned up. He is really dirty. I admit I've been a bad bike owner with Bumblebee. What happened to him was when we first moved over here, I didn't have a car. All I had was the motorcycle, and I got a job working graveyards in Cambria at a hotel, and where I parked my bike was about 100 feet from the ocean, and money was pretty tight then, although I should have somehow saved some money and bought a bike cover. I worked there for about a year with the bike parked right there in that salty sea air, and it was just soaking wet every morning. Well, that salty sea air really took a toll on the bike, and I didn't do a good job of cleaning it in between. I was just so wore out working all night, sleep schedule all screwed up trying to work graveyards. I had no motivation to do anything, so that's my excuse. That's why Bumblebee got neglected. So I've spent the last couple weeks trying to detail him. First off, the worst part of it is the forks. I would say the shocks, the rear shocks, and the wheels. Now I did it doesn't leak a drop of oil, but it's got lots of road grime built up on it. You know, around the engine area, bottom. I used some degreaser. It didn't seem to really do much as far as cleaning that stuff. And I also gave it a good wash a couple Saturdays ago. Then last Saturday, I got a polishing wheel and some polish and was really working on those forks. I took the fender off. I think I'm going to repaint the front fender. It's looking pretty tired. It's all scratched up from where the tool bag was bouncing off the top of it. I might make it match the gas tank and the oil cover and the battery cover. I'm not sure. Should I match it or should I just do it black again? And I still need to polish up the rear forks. I think I can probably, it's chrome, I think I can polish it the same way I did the forks, and it'll probably look decent. Now the wheels are another story. I've tried cleaning those with everything. I don't know if you're familiar with those Sportster like alloy wheels. They're kind of textured. I tried like a wheel cleaner on them, cleaned it off, didn't do anything. Degreasers, hosed them off, didn't do anything. I tried, well, the only thing that did kind of make him a little better was I took him to a car wash, the pressure washer. I hit him with that, and that made him look better, but not the greatest. And then I tried polishing just the smooth part of the rim, and it wasn't doing, you couldn't even tell. So I kind of gave up on the wheels. I think, I don't know, short of taking the tires off, taking them somewhere and having them sandblasted, but then I think I'm getting into where I'm not going to get a return on investment spending that kind of time and money. So I think the wheels are kind of going to look the way they are. But after that, I've also got the yellow belt, the drive belt cover, the yellow. It matches the tank. I've never put it on, so it's like brand new. But I'm working on it. I'm getting Bumblebee there, slowly but surely. I'm taking my time because I don't really want to get rid of them. But it is, the garage is really running out of space, and we're starting to like stack stuff around the house that we could put in the garage if we had a tad more space. So that's on that front. Next, I've got the new Shoei helmet, which I did the unboxing on. I've worn it a couple times. I really love it. I've got to get the GoPro set up on it though. I haven't worn it more than a few times because I do not like riding without a GoPro. And I've probably talked about this before, but I originally started wearing the GoPro more as protection in case of an accident or something. There was a podcast that I listened to like 10 years ago when GoPros started becoming kind of used on motorcycle or like moto vloggers, or were getting kind of popular and more people were using them. And this attorney said there's just a bias against bikers, that even when they're not at fault, they tend to get blamed and take the fault in accidents. He said that when he started, before, you know, everyone was wearing GoPros, it was usually like a third of his clients were not at fault. The other 2/3 would be found at fault. He said a shift over the past 10 years is that now that everyone's got GoPros, it's usually more than 2/3 now are not at fault, and like less than a third are at fault. He said that it really showed the unconscious bias against bikers. And he even gave an example. Now, I was listening to the podcast. I don't remember what the podcast was. They did have a video version because they were talking about how they were watching it. At least I'm assuming there's a video version of this podcast. But he gave an example of a couple of riders that were riding, I think in the Bay Area. They weren't lane splitting, which that would be legal if they were, but they were in one lane traveling the speed limit. One biker behind the other, both of them had GoPros. And they were in the number 1 lane where I'm at, and our driver in the number 2 lane came over and just nailed this girl and knocked her off into the center divider, and she wrecked. Now, this all happened, they've got it on GoPro, but this was a while ago. It's probably before you could play back and watch it on the GoPro. But an officer witnessed it, and an officer even wrote up in the accident report that the motorcyclist was speeding in like unsafe lane changes, and she hit the car. And when you watch the video, she was just going straight in her lane, not speeding at all, going the same speed the traffic was going. And you can see, not in her camera, because he clipped her kind of from behind, but in the guy's camera, he said that you could see that the guy was on a phone. So he said he had 2 sets of video for it, and on the second video from her friend that was behind her, you could see the guy was on his phone and he just swerved over into the lane. Didn't turn his head or anything. So that he was giving that as a perfect example of the bias, where this officer, you know, I don't think he intentionally lied, but just assumed or brain saw something different and wrote a report up completely different. Now, if it hadn't been for the GoPro footage, she probably would have been liable for any damage to his car. And you know, depending on whether or not she had coverage on hers, full coverage, she might have been liable for her own repairs and medical bills and whatnot. So that was kind of an eye-opening podcast that I listened to, and that was why I originally started wearing the GoPro. But then I started really digging all the moto vloggers out there and thought, hey, I want to try to do that. And at first it was just for fun, and it's actually still just for fun. I don't ever think I'll have a ton of subscribers. But hey, I have a good time at doing it, and if some people enjoy it, that's all that matters. That's a little bonus on top. All right, well, I've talked enough. I'm at my exit. You all stay safe out there. Please, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, give it a like, comment, and share. All right, YouTube, remember, ride like everyone's a hired assassin trying to kill you. Stay safe out there. Peace.